DGL has entered the transfer portal. Dra Gibbs-Lawhorn, former Illinois guard, is out of Champaign. Former four-star recruit, a one-time Purdue high school commitment turned decommitment turned Illinois Fighting Illini bench guy. DGL has shown flashes of being a player to be reckoned with in the Big Ten, but just never really truly got a big opportunity. He would kind of be Brad Underwood's break glass in case of emergency guard, where if like the starters or the guys he wanted to feature more were letting him down, he would just sort of be like, F it, DGL, go in there and be a chaos agent. And I think DGL did a pretty good job of that. He definitely had some loud moments in his 2 years where he showed flashes of being a guy that could really impact a team. But for whatever reason, it never seemed like it was in the cards at Illinois. Are you surprised by DGL being the latest Illini to enter the portal?
No, I think this is the perfect portal candidate. I get a little frustrated sometimes. The portal has like just a lot of people in it. Like, let's just be honest. There's a lot of people. I made the reference, I think on the last video we did, where I said like the portal's kind of like middle school dating, where you get a girlfriend and then you're like, like what's out there? With DGL, like I feel like he's looking for an opportunity that isn't there at Illinois. And after 2 years, going into his third year, he knows he's not going to have that opportunity. And so I think he's the perfect portal candidate. I do think he's the type of guy you have no idea what you're getting from DGL if you get him to commit, because he hasn't had a ton of opportunity. And within said opportunity, it was limited production to say the least. 25% three-point shooter this year on sub 100 attempts. That's not great. He shot it well from the free throw line, decent from the field with 45%, but overall you're recruiting him for defense. But again, not a lot of production that you can really go based off his first 2 seasons at Illinois. So you are taking a little bit of a chance on him.
Yeah, the numbers will not wow you. But the numbers are like greatly affected by the fact that he just didn't get real chances. The one thing I would say works against him is the shooting numbers aren't pretty. 25% from three this year, 24% for his full career. So you basically never showed that you could make shots from outside. That's not going to make you appealing if you're not like a bona fide starter at the high major level. It's just not a guy people want to really roll the dice on. But everything outside of that, like I believe DGL showed some creation stuff. He had a stretch from the end of December through the beginning of February where he scored in double figures in 7 games out of like 11 this year for Illinois. I do believe there's a guy here that can really impact things. I believe in his ability. I think he's a good defender. I think he's a fearless kid. I think he can swing a game in transition, and it just never matched with what Brad Underwood wanted to do. I don't think. Like the first year, they were too good as a championship contender. It didn't make sense to try and force feed this kid minutes. And then the second year, Kasparis was so ball dominant, and DGL's just not a great off ball guy. Like you can't play him with a ball dominant guard since he can't shoot. So I don't know. It just isn't the right personnel fit. I still think it could have been the right personnel fit for what it's worth. And I'm a little surprised. Like you look at this, Ty Rodgers back for Illinois. I kind of feel like Illinois could have told DGL, hey, we actually want you to play a lot more if they wanted to and find a way to keep him. I found it interesting last year. Everyone thought he was going to portal after his freshman year when everyone from Illinois left. Coleman, Dane, everybody left. And DGL was the only guy that returned along with Ty. And it was kind of the butt of the joke. But, it's one of those things. If he returned year one, you would think maybe he would return year two. But ultimately, to me, this transfer indicates one, DGL probably like, okay, I don't see myself getting the opportunity I want. And two, I still don't think Brad had him as a priority in the plans.
Yeah, I think I also think when it comes down to like him sticking around, if Brad says that he has expectations for DGL to play like a large role, right? If you're DGL, like respectfully to Brad, and like I think Brad, one of the best coaches in the country, I don't know how much you can believe that, because you kind of saw the way that Illinois moves last year, right? They got Will Riley to come in on June 23rd. You got Kasparis to commit on May 28th. like if there is talent available late in the windows here, like they have no issue bringing that talent in and giving them a larger role. So, maybe on April 2nd, DGL can look at it and be like, yeah, there is a lot of space for me to operate here. Like, should I go back? 2 months from now, they might have brought in more people that kind of take away from your role a little bit. And one thing I keep reverting back to on all these transfer portal videos, and if Coleman Hawkins like is watching this, I'm sorry. But I watched the interview you guys have with Coleman when he committed to Kansas State. And he brought up the point that he had pretty much every school in the country reach out to him, but he was at the point in the process where all those rosters were set. So he had 100 schools reach out to him, and then because he went through the NBA draft process, it was really like 5 or 6 teams that actually have a genuine role for him, where he isn't also subsequently stealing from somebody else's role. If you're DGL, you don't want to sit around and wait to see what Illinois does because they might do things so late that now you're in the Coleman Hawkins spot, and respectfully to DGL, you're not Coleman where you can kind of fit in wherever you need to fit in. So I think when push comes to shove, this is as much a business decision as anything, where he's just looking at it realistically, like I got to make a choice for me type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, which I respect. And also like, obviously players have left Illinois in different circumstances with the way that Merez just left and kind of lit it all on fire and ends up at a conference rival. I think DGL, oddly enough, like entered in a really respectful way. Like he actually put a statement out that talked about how much he cares about Illinois and the fans, and this was really hard for him. And I don't know. I feel like there's a good kid in there that I think a lot of jokes have been made about from me and from Cart and from our platform and from others. And I don't know. I just have admiration and respect for the way he's handled this because we don't see everyone enter the portal in this way. We see a lot of burnt bridges. We see a lot of dickhead behavior. And for a guy that a lot of accusations have been made about his character, I think he's handled this whole thing very, very, very maturely. He clearly has care and love for Illinois, and I tip my cap to that. He also, in a statement that Kedrick Prince put out, DGL quote, I played the game I love for the Illinois fans. They have always been great for me. The loud cheers is what I will remember most, along with my teammate. They're one of a kind. Thank you all. I don't know if that's a typo from Kedrick or not. Um, but if it's not a typo, singular teammate in that statement is the funniest thing ever because there's only one person who was with DGL this entire time, and it was Ty. So I almost read that to be like an honest, like, yeah, I will miss my teammate. you know?
I mean, there's no one else he has to miss because the rest of them are gone anyway, right? Like even if he wanted to go back, like Kasparis ain't gonna be there. At least I
It's
don't think he'll be there.
just kind of funny. If this is Illinois, well, let's just say this: should Illinois have wanted to keep DGL and like given him a big encore role, or should they feel comfortable that they'll get a better player?
I think when you look at Brad Underwood's history, I think they should feel comfortable they're going to get a better player, whether that's through the portal or whether it's late in the recruiting aspect of things. I mean, like I said, he got Will Riley to commit on June 23rd of last year. That's a first round draft pick, a guy that could have been a lottery pick, right? Like that's a high, high, high level talent. In Brad, we trust would be my motto if I'm an Illinois fan.
Yeah, I think that's fair in this specific case. I think they will get a player that can impact things on the court a little more, and it's a win-win for all parties involved. Where should he go? I haven't seen any schools speculated. This is not one of those where like he enters and there's some idea of where he's going. He could be mid-major, he could be high major. I think anywhere here would work. What do you think?
I like the idea of him at Maryland. You stay in the Big Ten. You get to go with Buzz Williams. With me saying Maryland, I would have said Texas A&M if we did this video yesterday. I like his fit within Buzz Williams' system. I think he fits a Buzz Williams type of player, and that keeps him in the Big Ten. That gives him two cracks at Illinois next year if he wanted it to.
Yeah, any the idea of like being the shot chucking guard in a Buzz Williams system because your job is literally to miss a bunch of shots off the rim and be an athlete. Like DGL could do that, so I'm in on that plan. Be Wade Taylor, and that'd be hilarious. I for some reason I close my eyes. I just see him in a Seton Hall uniform.
See that. I can see that. I can
Shaheen
see.
Holloway, Seton Hall, tough guard, bad team, high major still, get money. That's what I think happens here.
And then he could follow Shaheen the following year if he has to.
Or honestly, the other one that would make sense to me is I would have said like a Providence or a Georgetown, basically Ed Cooley's awful offense. Ed Cooley steals another Illinois guard from that bullshit school and pairs DGL with Jaden Epps.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I also don't hate like a Penn State.
I could see that too. All right, so we think high major for the most part. We'll see where DGL goes. Best wishes to you, DGL. And Illinois, I feel like this was a win-win for all parties involved.
It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.